What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick. This is NJ Talks Movies, and I finally got to see the new Superman movie, so I thought it'd be a cool idea to rank all the Superman movies. So I have never seen the George Reeves Superman movie. I've seen a couple of the episodes, but because I haven't seen that movie or the movie that came before it, I'm not going to include them in this video. And I did not grow up with the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I had seen Superman 2 as a child, but the other three I had not seen until the last couple of weeks. So I have no nostalgia for them. So if your favorite Superman movie's at the bottom of the list, it's only my list. It's not your list. If you want to tell me your list, comment down below and I'd love to see it. So in last place, I have Superman 3. This movie is just all kinds of crazy. They go over the top with the comedy. Richard Pryor's in here. I mean, some of his jokes hit, but it just doesn't fit the tone of what they had for the first two movies. And then the third act just gets really crazy with the computer. It wasn't set up beforehand at all, so it just feels way out of left field for that to come in and fight Superman with a computer. One interesting concept in the movie, I did like the idea of Superman being not himself, turning into an evil Superman. However, the fight between Clark Kent and evil Superman is just a little too long and it gets a little too wonky. This movie's just not for me. And at number 7, I got Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. This movie's not that much better than Superman 3. However, they did go back to trying to match the tone of the first two Superman movies. And it's also 30 minutes shorter than Superman 3. So it's not nearly as much of a watch. And it makes it a lot easier to get through. Nuclear Man is fine. I do like some of the action. Lex Luthor is still just okay to me. Gene Hackman's a great actor, but I never cared for him as Lex Luthor, or at least didn't care for the direction they chose to take this Lex Luthor. One of the silliest things in the movie has got to be Superman's repair site. I've never heard of that before. However, there was one great part of the movie to me. Nuclear Man is beating Superman into the moon and the music is just lining up perfectly with the punches. I really did like that part of the movie. But yeah, overall, that's number 7. Superman 4, Quest for Peace. And at number 6, I got Superman Returns, directed by Bryan Singer. He also directed X-Men 1 and 2. I think those are both better films than Superman Returns. This movie is just way too long. Barely anything happens. They don't do enough of any of the good ideas they have. Superman doesn't have a fight. He doesn't throw a punch. He just picks up a bunch of stuff. I think the two coolest things in the movie are when someone shoots a gun at Superman right in his face and the bullet bounces off of his eye. I think that was well done. And then, of course, the plane scene was pretty cool to watch. There was, towards the end, when he's on the Kryptonite Island and everybody's beating him up, I thought that was kind of entertaining. At that point, I did like that he wasn't necessarily throwing a punch, but he was fighting to get to the end of the island so he could escape. I like that he wasn't just giving up and laying there like a wimp. So I did like that. And at number 5, this is going to be a little controversial, but I have Superman the movie, directed by Richard Donner. This one is well made to me. It's just not my kind of movie. I mean, it does a good job setting up how he gets to Earth. It does a good job of letting us know how he was raised. I love seeing him fly around Metropolis saving everybody. But the middle part before he turns into Superman and after he leaves Kansas is just boring to me. It doesn't keep my attention. It took me 2 days to watch this movie. And then the ending is a little anticlimactic for me. It just doesn't hit all the notes I want a superhero movie to hit. So yeah, Superman the movie, number 5. And at number 4, I got Superman 2, the theatrical cut. I haven't seen the Richard Donner cut. This was my favorite Superman movie until recently. I guess you'll see which ones are ahead. I do like a lot of what's in this movie. I do think that General Zod and his sidekicks are much more entertaining villains than Lex Luthor was in the first movie. I do like how much Superman was focused on protecting the people rather than just punching the villains. But I also like that he did punch them. He was just trying to make sure he didn't hurt anybody while doing it. I think that's what Superman's all about. He's the Boy Scout of the DC. He wants to save everybody, always do the right thing. And I think this movie portrays that well. The middle of the movie does kind of get a little slow. Not as bad as the first one, though. And the ending is also just so fun to me. I also liked the diner sequences. I liked seeing his reaction to bleeding for the first time, realizing he can't just walk up to people and demand they be good people anymore because he's human. And then I also liked that he went back there and gave the guy the punch he deserves. So, way to go, Superman. That's my number 4, Superman 2. And before we get to my top 3, I just wanted to show everyone my new cup from the new Superman movie. This is the first time I've ever been this excited to go see a Superman movie in theaters. It's actually the first Superman movie I've seen in theaters. And yeah, it's an awesome cup. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and rankings down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get back to the ranking. And at number 3, I've got Man of Steel. I love this as an Elseworlds type of story or a alternate look at Superman. I don't like all the ideas. I think a lot of them only work in this Snyderverse. I really liked the trilogy it started. I am one of the people who were part of the hashtags released the Snyder Cut for Zack Snyder's Justice League. But after that, I was satisfied. I just wanted the continuation of that trilogy. It would have been awesome to see part 2 of Justice League, but Man of Steel is my number 3. I really love Michael Shannon playing General Zod. I think it might be the best villain in any Superman movie. He's just very menacing. He's very believable. All the emotions on his face make you feel the emotions he's feeling. They make you hate him, and he does a very good job of scaring Superman. You can see the fear Superman has, and it's great. Coming in at number 2, I got Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition. I really love Superman's story in here. I mean, Batman's story is great too, but if this were a Batman ranking, I'd probably have the movie slightly lower. Again, as an Elseworld story or an alternate universe version, I think these movies are great. I think Ultimate Edition, Batman v Superman, is severely underrated. I think the Martha scene is overhated. I mean, I get it's a little dumb, but I don't think it's as ridiculous as everyone made it out to be. I still don't like that Batman was ready to murder somebody, but we're here to talk about Superman. At the end of the day, at the end of this movie, Superman sacrifices himself to save everyone, and that's a very Superman thing to do, and I just love it. The action is so entertaining. You see Superman use all of his powers here, and I honestly think Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor is pretty decent. It's a different take. Eisenberg's a little chippy, I guess you could say. But his plans worked for the most part. He was menacing. And I think he was a better Lex Luthor than Gene Hackman. He was a better villain than almost everybody. In fact, I think he was a better villain than everyone except for Michael Shannon's General Zod. So, yeah, number 2, Batman v Superman. And at number 1, I got James Gunn's Superman 2025. I think David Corenswet was great as Superman. He might be the best Superman. Christopher Reeve might still have it. Who knows? Not sure yet. But this movie is just great. Not only does Superman shine, Krypto shines, Mr. Terrific shines, Green Lantern shines, Hawkgirl doesn't really get much of a chance to shine. But this movie is so much fun. This movie has the best Lex Luthor of any Superman movie. This movie has the best Lois Lane of any Superman movie, thanks to Rachel Brosnahan and Nicholas Hoult. They're both fantastic in this movie. Lex Luthor is diabolical. He's the best Lex Luthor on screen, except for maybe the animated series, but that's a whole different style. This movie really does feel like a comic book or a cartoon animated series episode come to life. Seeing the reviews, everyone's saying that, I was like, really? Is this movie gonna let me down? It didn't. This was amazing. I had a smile on my face the whole time. I don't know if I have any negatives other than Superman getting slightly preachy at the end. I'm not going to say anything that happens. I'm not going to talk about any of the twists. I do want to say, why in the world do we do spoiler talks on the day of release? I think we need to be giving fans a chance to go see it. At least wait until opening weekend is over. I think that's crazy that everyone just lets spoilers out on the Friday of release. Not everyone can go see it Thursday night or get private screenings or Amazon Prime screenings. So to me, that's just been crazy how much people talk about the movie as soon as it releases. I got one spoiler before I saw the movie, and it upset me a little bit. Luckily, this is the first movie in the DCU, so it didn't spoil too much. I think this is a great start to the DCU, and I can't wait. I have heard that they're thinking of releasing a Jimmy Olsen show. Again, he shines in this movie. They're thinking of making a Mr. Terrific show. And I never thought I'd say this, but I'm excited for Supergirl next year. I believe it comes out in June. Can't wait. I can't wait to see more of Green Lantern either. Yeah, this movie was great. It's my favorite Superman movie. I'm not sure how high in total superhero movies it would be for me, but it's definitely up there. I would give this movie at least a 9 out of 10 and at least a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Might go up to a 10, might go up to a 5. If you like superhero movies, I definitely recommend this. If you love Superman, I definitely recommend this. And if you did not like the take that Man of Steel had, I definitely recommend this. I think both iterations are great for different reasons. I think everyone should just appreciate that we're getting more DC. I prefer DC characters over Marvel, and it's been upsetting me that overall Marvel was making better movies. Until recently, I mean, after Endgame, they've been up and down all the time. But yeah, Superman 2025 is number one. And don't forget about my awesome cup. Have a great day. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super Cup.